In this video about one of the most amazing plants, bucephalandra, I will show you the safest way to grow it. Maybe not the most efficient, but the safest mode. You will find out how to attach Buce to a rock, and in the second part of the video how to make a big hardscape structure dedicated for epiphyte plants like bucephalandra and anubias. As I said in the previous video, Buce can be grown directly in the substrate, but I don't recommend you to do that unless you have a lot of experience. This method has some benefits. The plant will be able to get some nutrients with their roots, but if you don't have enough experience and if the substrate isn't well cycled and well circulated by water, the rhizome will melt and you can lose the plant. So don't try this at home if you're a beginner. By the way, everything I teach you today about bucephalandra you can apply to anubias as well. You can see these anubias growing nicely on a piece of dragonstone. In this tank I use tons of epiphytes. The best way to grow bucephalandra is on the rock, and I will show you next how to do that. In my opinion, the best choice is lava rock, because it's porous and the plant will catch hold with the roots on it easily. So let's cover this rock in Buce as well. In time, a small plant like this with many trimmings will get bushier and will look just like this one. Now let me show you how to trim this plant. So we have materials to work with. We need enough to fill up all of these small lava rock pebbles. So let's get going. You need a sharp scissor and you want to cut the rhizome above those side shots. You see, I just identified a side shot that I prefer to remain on the mother plant, and I will just cut off the tip. We'll prepare the other ones later. For now, let's go ahead with the video topic. To get your bucephalandra on the rock, you can use any type of glue, or you can attach it even old school with thread. I have three types of super glue: cyanoacrylate. This big one comes in huge quantity and it's more like a gel form. It's not so liquid as the classic one. You just add some on the rock or directly on the rhizome and keep them together until it dries out. Oops! See what a nice strong bond it makes? Best proof that this method works. Let's add another plant to the same rock. To speed up the things, you can use this activator, but don't use the activator on delicate plants because they might melt. Anyway, you can rinse the plant after you glue it. And the cyanoacrylate itself is fish safe, plant safe. It turns into plastic as soon as it dries out. So you don't have to worry about that. But in the contact with water, it leaves some white stains on the rock, on the plant as well. You don't need to worry about that either. In time it will disappear, will get covered by algae and will be hidden by the plant growth. This rhizome is too big. Let's split it into half. Here I glued together two different rocks covered in Buce by inserting a small cotton pad between the two rocks. Sometimes you have to prepare your bucephalandra before gluing. Remove the old leaves, trim the roots if they are excessive, and only plant what's nice and great looking. This one is the most expensive and the slowest growing bucephalandra that I have, a very rare species that I make an aquascape entirely for her. But unfortunately the tank was neglected, so now I will make another structure just for brownie ghost, and I will create a new aquascape around that plant. After the rock is finished, you just place it in your fish tank. In time the roots will grow and they will fix the lava rock on the dragon stones. Let's jump to the second part of the video. But first, hit either the like or the dislike button. Like I said, in this part of the video I will make a nice hardscape structure made out of rocks, woods. I will combine them to make a nice structure. Here are a bunch of materials and there are many ways to combine them. For instance, we can use foam, but we need to select a pond or aquarium fish safe foam. We can also silicone them together with the same type of silicone that we are using for gluing our fish tank glass, but I personally use cyanoacrylate. Combined with all those tiny bits of cotton pad, you can even use cigarette filters, or with filter floss, paper towels, will create a very strong bond. You shape them up by rolling between your fingers. There are many types of cyanoacrylate. For instance, you can use the liquid one that comes in big quantity. For it you can find special nozzles on AliExpress. With those you can pour glue even in the most difficult corner to reach of your aquarium. First you need to align the two hardscape pieces, in this case the rock and the wood, situate them in desired position and add a small piece of cotton pad to soak up all the cyanoacrylate and create a nice bond. It usually activates by its own quite quickly, but since I have the spray here, I will just use it. Try to make all your gluings behind, where they are hidden. But because this is a tutorial, I will make everything in front so you can see better. You see, this ugly stone has a lot of old gluing, all those white spots, but I will hide them the best I can. You don't want the stones and the wood very tight together, because in all those crevices that you form, bucephalandra and other epiphytes will find a lot of space to spread out their roots and to catch great hold. You just stick them inside those crevices. For now I don't try to make the best looking hardscape structure, I just do the best I can to hide the old glue, to show you the technique and make a great base for my Buce. When it activates, the cyanoacrylate makes some smoke. You probably noticed. Avoid inhaling that or the fumes from the spray. Those are definitely not good for your lungs. Now all we need to do is grab a plant and insert it where we want it. I'm quite pleased with the look of the hardscape. You can definitely do better looking ones, but now you know how to make it. All you need to do is roll some cotton pads between your fingers, saturate it with some super glue, and your job is done. If you haven't seen the first part of Bucephalandra series, click it fast before it disappears from the screen.